Bobby, it's great to see you. How are you? I know it's at the end of the season, but it's always good to have you on A's Cast Live.
Thanks, Tony. I'm good. Yeah, 6 more left and we're done, but it's been a good year.
You know, what a battle you've had throughout the season, right? You've had to deal with a lot of different players. We'll get into that, but right now, sitting at 500, just talk about what this season's been like for you and your staff.
It's been a roller coaster. I mean, we knew coming in we had a bunch of prospects, and I had almost the same team for the past couple of years. Guys repeating here in AA, and this year, we had new faces. We had Lawrence Butler and Denzel Clark and Darryl Hernandez, and it was a different kind of group. And then about a month or two in, they all gelled and became tight, and we're firing as a team. And then next thing you know, they're all gone up to AAA, and I got a whole new crop. So it's been up and down. It's been crazy having one team, and then pretty much the whole team leaves, and you got a whole new set of guys to deal with. But it's been a good challenge.
We had Fran Reardon on yesterday, and I'm going to ask you the same question about, obviously, it's great when your guys get promoted. That's exactly what you want to see. Then you have a new crop come in, as you said. But still at Midland, you want to win. It's about winning, and you have a message, and you have a style, and there's a way that you want to play. What is that like when the team is constantly changing, but your message isn't going to change?
Yeah, I guess that's the biggest part is I got to stay on the path on what I believe and how I expect them to play the game. This year was a little bit different because we had so many guys leave. There's only a few guys left that really, understood exactly what I wanted. So for the first couple of weeks, there's some growing pains where guys had to understand, the type of game that I want to be played and what they should do in certain situations. I like to let guys almost fail a little bit here. And then I let them know what they did wrong, opposed to saying, hey, you have to do this. This has to be the way. So it's a little bit different style, but it took some time for the other guys to fully understand what my expectations were. But we ended up kind of going on a roll there, and guys have played well.
You said the word fail, and I've been talking about that a lot lately on this show and also on the A's Clubhouse show after the game. It just seems to me in the sport of baseball, we are afraid to have people fail. And failure is a part of life, right? It's called job experience. And so many times a guy starts to struggle, they say shut him down or send him down, or talk about that fail. I mean, you went through this process as a player. Yeah. Failure is a part of your growth and makes you better. Why are we so afraid of that in our game now?
I hope we're not. I mean, at least we're not, at our level, or, I like guys to make mistakes. Like I said, I don't want to coach robots. I don't want guys to just know everything they're supposed to do and they have to do it exactly that way right out the gate. I like them to, make mistakes and understand why they made them. They're not just going about the game in just a robotic fashion where they just are doing whatever I say and don't know why they're failing. So for them to make the mistakes themselves and then we talk about it and they understand it, to me, that's a better learning process. So you can see the kind of the light click on at some point when they're doing things that I feel is the right way to play and the A's system believes.
I think about, I'm married to a teacher, so I know it's like to be around someone who's a coach and a teacher every day, and being around you for so long and watch you evolve. And that's what I think about with you. I think about, coaching and teaching. I really view you so much also as a teacher. You care about these kids, but you want them to do it the right way. You have that belief there's a Oakland A's way to play baseball. Just talk about, for you as a coach, manager, how you have evolved and how basically you understand this. So much of this is really teaching the game.
Yeah, it's teaching the game and it's teaching the personalities. It's, some guys, the way the game is now, guys like to celebrate a little bit more, and that could be showing it on the field. I mean, it's a definitely. And how they do things. And that's not how I was brought up. I was, brought up to act like you've done it before. So it's a little bit different way, and you have to read guys, differently. Every player wants to be coached a certain way, and it's our job to figure out what what makes them tick. And for me, it's, this season was a trying season. It was a lot of different personalities, a lot of different talent levels, and to get guys to buy into a singular goal and a way of doing things and celebrate when you're winning. When you're winning and you're doing awesome yourself, great, celebrate it, have fun. But, you hit a double and we're down by 6 and you want to give the antlers to the team, to your teammates. Like, dude, now might not be the time. So there's some learning curves, but, you got to, find out at what point you can kind of teach them and help them out.
It's so true. Like you'll be watching a game like in Colorado and it's 14-4 and the guy does it and every team's got their little thing and you're like, bro, you're getting blown out by 10. What are you doing? I mean, but I mean that is the game today. But I love the fact that you're doing it because you care about these kids. And just talk about, you've had a lot of guys go up to AAA this year. What are those conversations like? Because I got to think when they're getting that message from you, a guy who played in the big leagues, had success in the big leagues, and when you talk to them about that graduation, it's got to mean a lot to these players. So just talk about kind of your message when guys go from you now and up to AAA.
Oh, I mean, it's obviously a good message. It's obviously, when I get to promote someone, it's a good feeling. And I hope that when they go to Fran or they go to Cots in the big leagues, they understood here the right way to play. So for me, it's just, I'm excited for them, and I still talk to all the guys that have left here and are in Vegas or in Oakland. I guess I've built bonds with those guys where they know that, I'll always have their back and always stick up for them. And when a guy leaves here, it's a celebration. It's tough for our team personally, but, winning is a big part of it. But them getting to the next level and experiencing AAA in the big leagues is what it's about.
I remember when we drafted Max Muncy, and I went, is this true? There's another Max Muncy. It's Max Muncy 2.0. And, of course, we always get to interview the kids for the first time. And, man, he looked like a high schooler. He looked like he was fresh out of high school. Everything's changed. He's grown. He's growing up. So tell us, Max Muncy 2.0, how's he doing with you?
He's doing great. When he first got here, he looked like he was just kind of swinging the bat, didn't really have a plan. But he's evolved. I mean, since he's been here, he's cleaned up his defensive actions. He's been a lot more smoother and under control. And at the plate, he has a plan and knows what he wants to do. I think he's hitting around 300 right now. He has some pop. He's got energy. He doesn't lack confidence. He's along the same lines of Geloff when I had Geloff, where he just knows he's good. He doesn't really stress too much about, going 0 for 4 or 0 for 6 or 0 for 8, because he knows at the end of the day he's really good. So he has that internal belief, which is big. I mean, most big leaguers have that. He has all the actions. He still has some growing up to do. Of course, he's young. He just turned 21, but overall he's going to be good. He has power. He has power at the shortstop, position, and once he fines tune his approach a little bit more, he's going to be really good. But, it's a constant thing with him and working and making sure he understands the game and understands how to play it the right way. A lot of guys come out of high school and they were taught in high school, but the college guys really have a better feel of the winning way and how to do things in certain situations, where to be on every play. And he still has a few things to learn, but he's going to go to the fall league and he'll get some exposure there and hopefully learn a few things more, and he'll be good. Yeah,
we all know when you play college baseball, especially when you first get in freshman, sophomore year, you're going to get it handed to you a little bit. Yeah. These high school guys, I mean, like we all dominated in high school, and then all of a sudden, I can't imagine. I mean, I know what the route of playing in college, but I don't know the route of going from high school to the minor leagues. And when you set approach, I just imagine you get to guys in AA can flat out pitch. What that must be like when you get to AA for the first time. If you don't have approach, you're going to learn real quick. I better get one.
Yeah, it's an eye opener. It's an eye opener for a lot of guys. There's some guys that come here and, Max has done a pretty good job. It was really only a few weeks that he struggled. And after that, he did well. But the Lawrence Butlers of the world and the Zach Geloffs that come here and just dominate out the gate, that's pretty rare. But for how old Muncy is, at 21, I was in college. I was a college junior. And for him to be hitting 300 in AA and handling himself the way he is, it's good to see. But yeah, AA has some arms. If you can hit here, you can hit at the highest level. And right now he's doing it.
Cooper Bowman was a part of the Yankee trade that we never talk about, right? We're so worried about the arms, and we're seeing the arms. Tell us how he's doing.
He's great. He's a guy who the more he puts the ball in play, the better it's going to be for his career. This guy gets on base and it's a triple. It's kind of like Ruiz a little bit,
Wow.
where he gets on first, he's still second, he's still third. He has a knack for it. He knows when to go. He's a smart baseball player. Plays good defense. We've thrown him in the outfield a few times, but mainly has played second base here. But he's definitely a game changer. Once he gets on the base, he's a game changer, and he has some pop. He's got to figure out, like I said, how to put the ball in play more and create a little bit of chaos at the plate. But once he does that, he's going to be really good, because if he gets on, it's special.
How much have you enjoyed this type of player being back in baseball and coveted in baseball?
I love it. I mean, that's, the group we kind of got after we had that, big loss of guys going up to AAA. It's a scrappy group. I love the guys that know how to bunt, that can steal bases, that can get guys over with less than two, that can get them in, that can safety squeeze, that can do all the little small things. So this type of baseball, I love. I mean, you love to have guys that can hit the ball to the park all the time, but if you can get guys that can manufacture runs and know how to do it, and don't need me to tell them every time, if the third baseman's back and it's there, do it. That's kind of what I said about learning through failures, or them not seeing it themselves. Guys picking that up on their own now is, that's what brings me joy, is seeing them do it themselves and use their own brain on the field and know where to be and know what to do in certain situations. So, this type of baseball, the way the game is evolving with the small ball aspect, I love it. I mean, it's something that appeals to me, and the baseball, old school baseball mindset.
Learn how to win.
Yeah.
We get so much into how hard do you throw? What's the barrel rate? What's the exit velocity? It's like we're playing a game. There is a way to play the game, and it's tough when you execute small ball. It's tough to defend. I mean, it's like all the time we talk about a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with actually winning the game. I mean, it's like you're building a Long Beach State program there in Midland.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on. I'll sit there and talk with the guys, and they'll be talking about what this guy's flair is or what he's got going on, and I put it into it real quick. It's about, watch this guy hit a pop-up and run. Watch this guy hit a pop-up and he's still standing at home plate and it drops and he looks like a fool. It's teaching these guys how to play the game the right way is one of my biggest joys, and teaching them how to execute and how to win and what really matters. You have this X break and Z break, and you have, this launch angle. Great. But can you get a guy in with less than two? Can you lay down a bunt when we need it? Can you be in the right spot? Do you know where to be on every play? It's all these little small things that, you see in the playoffs. When the playoffs come around, all of a sudden everybody becomes a small ball team and what it takes to win. But, it's possible to do that every day and figure out a way to win that game. And with the group I have right now, and, that's kind of more the route we're going. Guys are playing the right way and figuring out a right way to win.
When Daniel Susac was drafted by the A's and they brought him over to A's Cast Live, and I looked down and I went, man, this guy looks like a traditional drop back quarterback. I mean, he's a big dude, right? I mean, a really big guy. Could be the future behind the dish. I mean, he's swinging it well. Big guy. I've never really we get to interview him. I've never really seen him play. Just talk about his game offensively and defensively behind the plate.
Yeah, defensively, he's been really good. He's got a few little things, with his blocking that he's had a few missteps, but for the most part, he's been really good. I mean, he's got a great arm. He's made some great throws a second. Guys really don't try to run on him too much since he's been here, or they haven't. It's a pretty impressive arm. So I think, the catching is only going to improve, and the bat has been really good. He's another guy who's hitting over 300 here, and he's only been here for a few weeks, but he came out the gate really well. He's got some power. He has power to all fields, and he knows how to play. He's a guy who went to college and understands the right way to play the game and knows how to win and knows how to pick his spots on even stealing. He's picked a few spots that were good. So overall, his game's good. He's got some development to do still, and probably some approach things at the plate that haven't yet been really exposed here, because he's hit really well, that he'll have to adjust to. But he's a good one for sure. He's going to be a good player.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is always an honor to have you on the program. Someday Probably pretty soon. You're going to be a big league manager. Just don't forget us here at A's Cast. Once you get that big league job, don't forget us.
I never will, of course, Townie.
Well, I'll tell you what, I hope you have a great off season. We'll see. We'll talk to you during the off season. Of course, before you know it, we'll get through the holidays. It's fantasy camp, and then it's spring training. But congratulations on another terrific year, because I don't look at record. I look at the teaching, and everybody talks about what you're doing down there in Midland is something special. So congratulations, and we'll talk to you in the off season.
I appreciate that, Townie. Thank you.